Hello, everyone. I'm Cerebral, and this is Cerebral Talks TV. And today I want to show some video clips that I just stumbled across that were interesting to me and share my opinion about it. Okay, so there are probably maybe 4 or 5 video clips I'm going to share today. Okay, this woman, as you can see, she says, I've escaped 80% of life's problems by not having children. Now, I know a number of people who want children, who push to have children. They hate these type of videos, but let's see the problem she does not have to go through because she is child free. And let me say this too. Of course, if you want to have children, because as a woman, I've always said it, you can't go back in time and have children. We are women, we have eggs, we do have time limits, so you have to make the decision if you want kids or not. And if you don't, and you can live with that decision and makes you happy, you've known, some women have known since they were teenagers they didn't want to have kids, and some women are undecided. But if you are happy and content with not having kids, there's no shaming that should happen towards you. But having kids is expensive in the United States. It's true. I've seen plenty of people I could tell they didn't want their children. And that's sad when you can see that. But there are also people who love having their children. So let's just sit back and see what she's saying. I've escaped 80% of life's problems being child free.
I've escaped 80% of life's problems by not having children. So I did a video about this on my YouTube channel last year. And it was my most viewed video to date. Where I talk about how the only thing that I have to worry about when I wake up in the morning is, do I want coffee or tea? And there's no legitimate reason under the sun for me to ever change that. A lot of people don't have a deep understanding that for many of us child-free women, the decision to be child-free really just comes from not wanting to make our lives harder than it has to be. Because it's like, why would I do that, right? I talked about how I don't have to worry about stuff. And then if I had kids, I would have to worry about a bunch of things, like overnight. Right now in my life, I no longer have to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck because I used to live like that a long time ago. And now I don't have to. Like, I even have things on auto pay now, because we always joke about, you made it if you got things on auto pay. Like, just take it out of this account. You know what I mean? I have stuff like literally coming out of this account on auto pay, like every week, every month, whatever. And so I literally would go right back to living paycheck to paycheck again and struggling again if I had children. And I have no intentions on doing that. And I don't understand why that's hard for people to get. It's almost like people want you to be miserable with them because they're miserable. Because it's like, what part of I'm comfortable and I don't want to change that do people not get? Like, and if you're pretending to not get it, I'm thinking it is because you're miserable and you're upset that other people won't be joining you in your misery. I never have to know what it's like to have a kid unalived in a school, pew-pewing, or to be bullied or harassed or unalived in any way, assaulted in any way. Like, I'm never going to have to experience that. I don't want to experience these things, you know? A lot of times you guys think that going through things builds character. And I'm like, maybe it does in some ways, depending on what it is and who it is. But I don't want to go through my kids being harmed and unalived to build my character. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through homelessness to build my character. I don't want to lose everything that I've worked hard for. I don't want to go back to living paycheck to paycheck to build my character. I would rather build my character by reading books, by learning about different cultures and learning about people and studying human psychology and studying plants and animals and whatever. You know what I mean? Studying the universe in which we live in, right? I would rather build my character by getting out and helping to volunteer at soup kitchens and stuff. Like, that is how I build my character. And I don't associate struggle with building character, especially if it's something that you can avoid. I am not about to get up every day and make my life a living hell just because people think that's what makes a real woman or that's what makes a real adult when you have all these million and one responsibilities. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm speaking for myself, and I'm also speaking for all the other child-free women out there, and even women who have kids but are like, I'm one and done. You know what I mean? Or I'm two and done, and that's it. Y'all got me effed up. So people have the right to live their lives how they want. But the reason why I say I escaped 80% of life's problems by not having kids is because most problems that women have in their lives tend to come from the stresses of parenthood or motherhood, and also from whatever spouse that they're living with or having to deal with, right? It is what it is. Those are the two, a man and some kids. Those are the two major stressors on a woman's life. Of course, you got money problems, and you have all these other things, the beauty standards and all that crap, right? But the main two things, kids and a man. And I am without both. And I plan on being without both forever. The kid thing is for sure not happening. Done, right? I can't wait till I hit menopause. That way, nature would make that decision for me. Then I ain't got to worry about it no more. But the whole aspect of being in a relationship, like, there's like no benefit for me to do that. Like no benefit. I see all the ways in which it can ruin my life. I see zero ways where it can make my life better. So if I take away those two major problems that cause women the most strife in their lives, what strife do I really have to deal with now? Little stuff like don't be late to work, or make sure my Amazon packages come on time. My Fashion Nova jeans need to be here before Friday because I plan on taking them on my trip. You know what I mean? Those are the types of things that I worry about every day, and I want to keep it that way. If you think it's selfish and self-absorbed or whatever, then that's too bad. But I plan on being selfish and self-absorbed until the day I die. Anybody who have a problem with that, that's exactly what it is. It's your problem. Scamper off and find a way to deal with it. And I'm out.
Okay, so what I have to say to this video is that, yeah, she mentioned it. I will see people say, you're so selfish, you're so selfish. And as she's saying so. What if I am so? And I'm happy. It's okay to be selfish if you want to be selfish. I've also seen people talk about our country and the world. You have to, if you really love children and you love your unborn children, you think about the world they're being born into. Look at our country. Look at the world. Look at rent prices and everything. A lot of people who don't have children actually do like children. People sometimes assume you don't like children. No, a lot of people who don't have children, some of them do like kids, but they're being a responsible adult because they know they can't afford them. Okay? If she were to have children, the things she can afford would be made harder. And many black women with sense know if they're going, I don't know what race of men she dates, but a lot of black women date black men. You already would have to think, if I get pregnant, there's like a 75% chance I'm going to be a single mother and my life is going to be ruined. You'll have black women who try to make it sound like having strength and the struggle. I don't promote the struggle life. It's, and I love that she mentioned how people believe that it builds character to suffer and to be poor and to not have things. Or you're an adult woman now, so I can respect you because you went through this and that. You had it hard. You need to have it hard. You need to struggle to prove how much of an adult you are so I can then respect you. It's ridiculous. That's a very real statement that she said. Also, you'll have women who will say, when are you having kids? I've had this happen. It's not that I don't want children, but I'm not having kids with any old man. You'll have women who'll say, when are you having kids? Because they want you to join in their misery. That happens too. And sometimes it is from a place of love, because as women, we know we can't go back in time and have children. We have to decide if I'm going to have kids. And some women do not need children. Again, do you see the news stories of women putting children in microwaves and in freezers? There are a lot of mentally unstable women who should have never had children. Not every woman needs to have a child. And again, if I can't afford to have them, I'm going to give life and make someone's life destroyed. If I don't have my stuff together, I'm ruining their life. If you know what it's like to live in poverty or not having bills paid or being evicted and stuff, and you think about, I can't barely take care of myself. If I have kids, how are they going to survive? They don't have to build character and go through this and that because of I'm the one who brung them here and I didn't have anything, and now my kids have to suffer and all of that. And people don't want to talk about that, especially in the Black community. We try to make it sound like it's a great thing, or you built strength and character, or I this and that. I didn't have it easy, so you don't. Like, love your children. If I had it rough or I have difficulties, I don't want to have to tell my kids, well, I had it like this, like, well, you should go through it too, because I had to suffer. No, the point is, I don't want my children to suffer. I don't want my children to have to go through what I went through. That's what love is to me. And she's basically saying people judge her, but I'm able to live my life. I'm able to have my bills paid. I'm able to travel. If I had a children, that would be destroyed. And one thing she mentioned, though, she also doesn't want to have a relationship. For some women, they can do that. They're fine with that. Some women want a man. They want a man holding them. They want romance. They want sweet kisses and all of that. But there's a growing number of women who feel this way because it's such poor quality of men and they've never even experienced love and romance that it's like, well, what am I missing? Am I missing something I never had? I don't even know anything about this. And I'm tired of these problems, the homosexuals and all this. Plus, if you start dating a man, you're going to sleep with him. You are going to sleep with that man. Not just because he wants to, but most women, you're going to want to sleep with him too. And when you start sleeping with him, the possibility of pregnancy will happen. Unless, even if you're on both birth control, not only that, but there are a number of men who do have a problem with women who don't want to have kids. Even if the man can't afford to have kids himself, he still wants to plant his seed, as he says, a number of them. That's why some women might say, well, date an older man who already had children, and he might not want children because he's already had them. Can you find men who don't want kids? Yes, there are men like that, but there are a number of men who will date you for years and they want to make you pregnant. That happens, even if he is older. So, if you want a man in your life, you need to find a man who don't want kids like you, then it could work. And in some cases, the men change their mind. They fall in love and they're like, I want a baby. And that's why she said, well, I'm waiting for menopause to happen because then you can't, then again, you could get your tubes tied. So you could do stuff like that if you really don't want children. Some women just don't want children. People need to get over that. Some women do not want children. And some people, men and women, don't want to have children because they cannot afford it. And that is real too. So I can't wait to hear your opinion about that. Let's go into the next video.
You know it's bad if I don't kick it off with a joke. So sad. Woman shows her absent father ask if she was single because he didn't recognize his own child, yo. So here is the young lady in question. Poor baby probably traumatized for life. Because your daddy talking about you bad. You single? And you know I'm Talisa. I'm your daughter. She said, how you don't recognize? He gonna say, no, you not. Even tells him the mom's name. Tink, you look so different, I'm sorry. But then proceeds to say, send me some pics. Send me some pics will be the death of y'all. Just when I thought I seen all the worst send me some pics scenarios, like all the worst lead ups to a send me some pics, this takes the cake. First of all, what is your fishing demographic? What demographic are you dating for you to have ended up in your child's DM? Like, that has to be what you have to be okay with. But y'all, the main one, these men saying, oh, ain't nothing wrong as long as they ate. See, this is what. And then y'all jumping from coot to coot. And then the thing about it though, when I post women doing shiesty things, the women come up here and the women get up in they booties like preparation H. But the men, when I post stuff about men, the men can't never find another man accountable. They can't never be like, oh, he did wrong. There's gonna be a man in here to be like, oh, well, what did the mama do to make it so that the daddy hollered at the baby? Watch. Somebody's gonna string it together and say, what did the baby do to make the daddy to make it be like, oh, y'all make me so mad. Just leave your comments, because at this point, that's enough internet today, and it's not even noon yet. It's noon somewhere. We off this.
This is absolutely disgusting. Her father hollered at her because he didn't even know that was his daughter. And I've heard of cases of people getting married and not knowing that they married their cousin, and even some cases they're half brothers and sisters because their father has slept with so many women around town and stuff that the babies end up meeting and sleeping with each other. They don't even know we got the same daddy. This is horrible. I would be traumatized if my dad didn't, if that were me and my dad didn't recognize me and he's interested in me. Then he says, send me more pictures. That's so disgusting. I mean, some people might say, well, maybe he just wanted to see more pictures of his baby girl. That's very awkward after you just tried to holler at me. Okay, so we can already tell he wasn't in her life. He didn't help raise her. Maybe she looks more like the mother or maybe somebody else in the family or something like that. So, he said, yo, I'm sorry. I didn't know you was my daughter, but could you send me more pictures? That's cringy. That is very cringy. That's disgusting. And I don't know what I would do. Y'all in the comment section, what would you do if your father, who wasn't in your life, hollered at you on social media to date you, to sleep with you, to get with you? And then you got to tell him, daddy, I'm your daughter. I'm your daughter. You can't tell I'm your daughter. Send me more pictures. That's horrible. That's very horrible. What would you do if that was you in this situation? He should be, if he didn't know, he didn't know. But then to follow up with send me more pictures is just awkward and just kind of nasty. And this is a shame. This is a shame because it shows you things that can happen when your father doesn't raise you. He's not in your life. He abandons you. He can't even recognize you. He can't even recognize you. That's horrible, and I hope she heals from this. Let's go to the next video.
This woman poured boiling hot water mixed with sugar on her husband while he slept. Come to find out, he SA'd her children and she found out. This woman's name is Corinna Smith, and she basically decided that her husband was going to pay the price for SAing her children. So while he was sleeping, she decided to go ahead and go to the pot, get some boiling water, mix it with some sugar, and pour it on him, causing him to be unalived. I want to know where we can send this woman some bail money, or where we can sign a petition to get her free, because I don't see what the problem is here. She decided that her husband was not going to continue to live because he decided to violate her children. I'm trying to figure out where we can send some money for a lawyer.
All I have to say is thank you, ma'am, for what you did. Thank you. More women need to do it. I don't know if more women did this, would the law get serious about executing these men or putting them in jail for life? I always say execute them. She did what a lot of mothers would do or would think about doing, finding out that your own husband was essaying the children that you both had together. And people were saying, why did she use the sugar? Well, I found out that the sugar, when it's boiling hot with the sugar, it's very hot on your skin and it's melting on your skin. It's hard to get off. So it causes more damage. And that's probably why he ended up passing away, because of the added sugar in the boiling water. In the Black community, you used to hear stuff like boil a pot of hot grits, but she used sugar, and she's in jail, and she shouldn't be in jail. She shouldn't be in jail for doing that to her husband, who was violating sexually her children. She did what a lot of women want to do or would do. And now she's in jail. You can find out her information online, this case, and send money to her if you want to. I hope that she gets out of jail. I hope she gets out of jail, because to me, justice was served. You are our children. You are our children. You're lucky I don't cut off your penis. Do what's that woman, Lorraine Bobbitt or whatever, when she chewed it off? She's the real hero in this. She's the real hero in this. And I don't know what it's going to take for more men to stop doing it. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. The rape cases are off the charts, especially in places like India and South Africa. And the men are not afraid. They're not afraid of the consequences of these things. The law, which is run by a number of men, will not execute these men. And in some cases, you got to take the law into your own hands. The look I see on her face is a woman who isn't sorry, a woman who said, yeah, I did it. I did it for my children. Now, I know the children now are growing up without their mother, which is the downside to it. But that's a woman's face who just, no, you're not going to do this to my kids. And I'm sure her kids have grown up even without her being proud. Being proud, even though my mother's in jail. Hopefully they're contacting her, they're visiting her, they're giving her phone calls and everything. They can say, my mother did it for me. My mother loved me. My mother loved me. Yes, she's in jail, but my mother loved me. My mother stood up for me. My mother got vengeance for what he did to me. You know, and some people say it's just a sad situation. Your dad's gone, dad SA'd the children, and your mother's in jail now. So, but sometimes, I mean, maybe she could have pleaded insanity. But then again, they would say you can't be insane because you took the time to put the sugar in there. So you plotted and planned it out by putting that sugar in. So we can't give you insanity, Kate, a plead. But hopefully she gets out of prison. What would you do? What would you do if you found out your husband has been raping your children? What would you do? Let us know in the comments section. Let's go to the next video.
I don't believe in the whole 2-week notice thing. Oh, why am I giving you 2 weeks to let you know that I'm leaving when if you were going to fire me or lay me off, you would let me know that same day? Oh, I need to set boundaries. So the same respect that you would give me, I'm going to give you back. Jobs and corporations don't treat us with the same respect and loyalty that they expect for us to give them. If you want me to give you 2 weeks, I need you to at least give me a month to get my life together, because a lot of people have children, elderly parents or grandparents that they have to take care of. A lot of people are on disability. A lot of people are preparing to have a family. A lot of people are probably on the verge of an eviction notice or homelessness. So the same respect and loyalty that you want me to give your brand, I need to feel that. And if not, y'all gonna get the same immediate notice that you would give me.
I hope that reaches every HR office globally.
This was very interesting because traditionally you are told to give 2 weeks notice before you quit or move on to a next job. And she's saying, why should I? You don't give me time. You just fire me. And that is so true. The reason why I still believe in the 2 weeks notice, if you can, is because usually when you have, they're going to call your job. When you put it on your resume, they'll call, and you don't want them to say something bad about you if they're angry how you left without notice. And then they might badmouth you to the next employer, and that could hurt your chances of getting a job. But I mean, she's not lying, though. A lot of jobs just fire you. They fire you like you're nothing. You're just expendable. This happens a lot. I've heard people say, well, don't be too loyal to a job. You're just a number. You're just a number. You don't have to go above and beyond and do such and such. If they're not going to give you a raise, then stop doing it. I have heard of the quiet quitting movement here in this country called quiet quitting, where they don't try to get bonuses anymore or employee of the month and all that because they work them, and you barely get anything. You barely get anything. So why should I do all of this? I'm just a number, an employee, and you'll have me replaced as soon as possible with someone new. And sometimes there are women in certain career fields where they do extra work and you're not even getting paid for it. You do other people's job, and then the company will refuse to pay you a salary for the job you did, which was somebody else's. Absolutely not. A lot of jobs have absolutely no loyalty to you. They don't care about you. A number of jobs. I've seen the videos of people working for 50 years and all they got was a t-shirt as a reward. Is absolutely horrendous. But I don't really know. You got to be careful. Like, I understand what she's saying, but then it's also, I don't want the next job to call them and they're saying bad things about me because I left without notice. That was some real stuff she said. What do you think about it? Let us know. Do you believe in 2 weeks notice, or do you believe in just, I'm out, on to the next? You better find somebody else. All right, so now I'm going to play the last video clip. Let's go. Let's get into it a little bit more.
I gotta understand, and this is sad, and I'm gonna say this. A lot of times, only in the black communities do parents expect their kids to take care of them? Because majority of times in the white communities, they already live in the suburbs. They already living good. They already got their in order. They credit already right. So when they kid make it, they like, no, you take care of you and your family. Me and your dad's fine. We don't need nothing. When us make it, your third cousin is sitting around talking about how much that contract was for. Man, he got 10 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If he just came through and gave all us 50,000, he had still had 9 million left. Like, it ain't simple like that.
Not even thinking.
I'm just gonna come drop a 50 ball on you for nothing, because you my cousin.
Yeah, not even thinking the 10 turned into 5, and only if you got a good accountant, it could turn.
Okay, I got some things to say about this. First off, I don't fully agree, because in the Asian community, Indian is Asian, a lot of them are expected to take care of their parents. This is a well-known fact. Also, the Black community is in more poverty than most races on average. So, of course, a lot of people in the family would think that, but I do feel like there are people who will try to use you just because they're related to you. They never called you, they never liked you, but the minute you come into money, they think you owe them something, and you were never in my life. You don't even like me. You never called at all, really. Or people who call you just to use you, but they don't actually love you or like you. That happens. As far as taking care of your parents, I feel like if you had a loving mother and father who took care of you, naturally, you would want to take care of them if you came into money. You know, anyone who makes it and makes money and your parents loved you, they were good to you, they were good people to you, they were your friend, and they were a great parent, or, you know, pretty good in comparison to others. They loved you, you know, they love you, and you don't want to help them out. That's disgusting to me. But I also know there are people, especially in the Black community, who feel like your parent could abuse you, talk to you like filth, barely even raise you, and then they make you public enemy number one because you don't want nothing to do with this evil person. Yeah, they're your parent or father, but they're evil. You treated me evil. You abused me. Could you help them out and then still move on with your life and keep your distance? Yes, you can. But he mentioned how other family members will then say, oh, they got money, they can give this and that to me, basically use you. And he mentioned the white community where, okay, they got their life together and they want their kids to go on and have their family with their money. They don't need it because they got it. Well, most Black families are not on the same wealth page as white people. So that's where that comes from a lot of times, because they've been poor or broke a lot half their life. And do some of them, it all comes down to some people want to use you when you get money when you're Black. Yes, you'll have family members who never even spoke to you in their life calling you up, thinking you owe them money simply because you're related, and you literally don't even know them. You literally don't talk. You literally might know they don't even like you, but now they think you owe them all this and that money. And I mean, you have a choice. You have a choice. People will say charity begins at home. You know, that's an old saying where, you know, if you can't even help your own family, but you could help them, you could, and then let them know this is the one time and do not call me again. You know, we're not, no, you know, and keep it moving, because they never wanted to be in your life. Only when some money came in, now they want to be in your life or pretend y'all were cool. And they never liked you. They never called you. They don't even love you. In some cases, you know they don't love you, even though you're related. You know, that's a real thing. And I don't agree, though, with him saying only in the Black community do parents expect their kids to take care of them. No. In the Asian community, and maybe even Arab community, but especially Asian community, it's a very well-known fact that their children, they let them know they have to take care of them. Like, that's literally a part of their culture, to take care of their parents, even if their parents abuse them. In some cases, eldest having a male child, we know the importance of that in so many cultures, because they feel they're going to carry on the family and make the money and take care of the family and stuff like that. I feel a lot of Black people, though, are very selfish, very selfish. Talk about Again, I don't believe in having to help people that didn't like you or didn't raise you or didn't even love you, who are related. But as a whole, our race is a very selfish race. You know, we scream about community. And I've had this happen with videos I've made when I've talked about why come black people, the richest black people in America are rich from sports and entertainment at large. So then when you say, why don't they use their money to start their own things, their own major record label together, their own studio like Tyler Perry with the money they've gotten together as actors, their own strip malls, their own this, then black people will say, they don't have to do that. Why y'all want their money? Then stop screaming about the white man. You get everything from the white man. Stop screaming about oppression. Stop screaming about the black race has nothing. Where the F do you think the money's going to come from? It takes money to build. It takes money, literal money. Who got the money in the black race? Sports and entertainment at large. Billions of dollars with their money combined that could turn black neighborhoods into real communities within months with the amount of money that they have. So miss me with it on that. It takes money. If you're tired of seeing like the white man, as you say, we need, you don't want him to take care of you, but then you don't want to go to the black people within your race that has the money to help fix stuff. Then it turns into they don't owe anyone anything. That's true. They don't have to give you a damn thing. Just stop whining about community and not having money, because it takes money, millions of dollars to build infrastructure, buildings, malls, money, investments. If you're not willing to work with other races who have the money more than you and you want it strictly from black people, what's the industry the wealthiest black people are in America? Sports and entertainment. And I know for a fact that you could have the Black Wall Street, so many talk about, you could have that within a year or two with the amount of money. Black Americans are the richest black people in the whole world, in case you did not know. And if they actually decided to do something like the damn Godfather, the heads of families, and get together and say, look, we got this money. I got a $400 million sports contract. He got a $500 million. That's $900 million right there with just two of us. That neighborhood in that town that's black owned has gone to crap. The old mall section, let's buy up the buildings. Oh, black people struggling to pay rent. I'm worth $900 million. I'll buy up all 20 of them apartments like it ain't nothing and then collect the rent. I'll make their rent $500 a month. It ain't nothing for me. And everyone knows it who isn't black and who has sense that could easily happen with the amount of money black people with sports and entertainment have. But then they'll say they won't do it. And then y'all start screaming crabs in a barrel. Oh, they're the oppressor. And then when black people say, well, we need them to give us some money to help. Oh, why are you asking them? So it's just weird to me. I don't know what black people want as far as how they're going to build all this stuff and where they're going to get the money from black people. Or they don't think black people should help them, but then whine and complain about white people controlling everything. I don't know. But anyway, I do understand what he's saying. I get what he's saying, where your parents can treat you like crap, did nothing for you. And then you make this money and they will shame you to death if you do not want to give them any money. But I think it depends on how they treated you a lot of times. Like if they abused you again, if they never called you, they never hung out with you, they never nurtured you, they never did anything. Really, you raised yourself, or they just weren't good to you. And no matter how they treat you, they expect you to do this and that. I get that. That can be an issue. Or again, other relatives who don't F with you, calling like, no, I want 50,000. She needs 50,000. You need to help the family, this and that. It was like, what family? I don't even have family. We were never family. Not really, and I know you don't love me. I know you don't like me, but now I have to give you this money. But then, you have the other side, like, well, if I would give the 50,000 to a charity, okay, maybe I will, but don't call me anymore begging for my money and resources, especially if you were never there, you never loved me, don't try to use me type of thing. And I think he's kind of talking about that attitude that attitude like, oh, you owe me, you gonna give me type of thing. But I'm just gonna be quiet on it. I'm gonna be quiet. He says only in the black community are parents expecting their children to take care of them. Well, and I mean, naturally, that is how it's supposed to go. You know, your children. I've heard horror stories of people on their beds about to pass away as elderly people, and none of their children see them, or the children are trying to get the nurse to induce something so that they pass away so they can get the will or the insurance and stuff like that. Just not loving their mother or father who might have been good to them. I feel like if you come from an environment, a home that was loving and your parents loved you and they tried their best, naturally, you should want to take care of them if you have some money to be able to. Not just throw them away like they were nothing. Because to me, you don't love them. Now, again, if they were cruel, they were crappy parents, they let things happen to you, they did things to you, they talked to you like filth, they're not your friend, they're not even a good parent, then I can understand how that can be difficult, you know. So that's a very sensitive topic, though. A lot of people get real sensitive when it comes to the issue of taking care of your parents, especially if the parent was not a good parent. Then religion will come into it. They'll bring up honor thy mother and father. Okay. And I did see a video where the spiritual whistleblower said, it says in the Bible that your parents are not supposed to forsake you. Basically, you're not supposed to put up with their abuse that they do towards you when they are cruel. So, but again, I don't believe that the black community is the only one like this. I know for a fact a lot of the Asian community expects their children to take care of them. I can't speak for all the rest, but let me know. If you know, let us know in the chat. So that is it for the videos. Okay, I thank you all for joining me. Let me know your opinions about everything you saw. Do you agree with some things? If you hit the bell, when you subscribe, click on notifications so you know when I'm live and when I upload. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your day. Bye.